so he's doing great stuff for himself there. TSM's early game, second best in the LCS. Second, obviously, only to Cloud9, but doing a lot of things well in the early game. It's been converting it. That's been the problem for them.
Yep.
See if they can turn this one around.
And it is back to basics for TSM with another Syndra pick.
Yeah.
I feel like it just keeps getting picked sooner by them every week.
Yeah.
Either it's their first, it's like their fourth pick on red side, and here they're just like, you know what? We've won 3 games on Syndra already.
Yeah.
Why not go for 4 this split? And they lock it in really early.
It's the only champions played more than one time this split. Like,
Yeah.
Bjergsen and Syndra, I mean, that does really speak to me. That is his #1 comfort pick. I think he is very good at it, arguably the best Syndra in NA, and sure, you can go ahead and counterpick me, Jizuke. You've got 8 isolated deaths. I've got 4 solo kills. I've done that math. I'm going to get you this game.
I mean, the LeBlanc-Syndra matchup can be very explosive.
Yeah.
And Jizuke has had some very good LeBlanc games, as well as a few oopsie LeBlanc games. So both of these mid laners, it was the featured matchup, are going up against each other with their most picked mid laners.
It's going to be fun. It's always going to be fun, and that is very enjoyable to me as Senna is added to the ban pool, and we'll see what else comes through. TSM do have to figure out what exactly they want to round out this comp. Their bot lane is left up here.
I want to see a Yumi ban here.
Oh, it's already been banned off earlier on.
Oh, I'm trolling.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's a really
I troll that
small
too.
cat face. It looks kind of human-like, so I think I got confused.
That's fine.
That's my excuse.
No worries. Tom Catch.
It's not like it's been the same icon for a year.
Yeah, this doesn't matter. You know, I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a big issue. One final ban for TSM's side. They know that there's an unanswered jungle pool, which is why the Jarvan was the earlier ban. Gragas is added onto that one as well. Elise could, of course, come through as another highly prized jungler and one that Svenskeren has played, but his 2 most played, the Elise and the Jarvan, are gone.
Braum Ezreal would give them a strong level 1 as well as some improved team fighting, which is very needed against the Ornn.
And I also wouldn't play a tank jungler when your backline is only Ezreal LeBlanc. I don't think you need Sejuani with this kind of team comp, so I think we'd look for something a bit more explosive, and like I wouldn't even hate Kindred, even though it's like pretty out of the meta.
It's what they played last time against TSM Freak.
Yeah.
They just fell down to the Kindred. Would they do Sivir into Ezreal?
I feel like no.
I mean, a Trist is also a little bit...
Backline DPS.
Yeah, it is.
If you just need reliable damage late game, Tristana basically is that champion. Has 2 self-healing abilities, decent base stats, you just build a bunch of crit. I think Tristana should almost actually never leave the meta in any meta where like you have 380 carry bans. And Taric comes alongside it. Now this can be very aggressive. Taric Trist has some real lane pressure, and they think they can just straight up brawl the Ezreal Braum in some cases, especially if Braum ever recalls out of the lane. Yeah, again, I really don't like Sedge when your mage is LeBlanc. I don't think you need a tank for her. She does her own thing already. I want Sven on something more explosive.
It is an interesting debate. I think it's going to be the Sedge because it does give them a very, very strong front line. Although it's like, to your point, what are they frontlining for?
Yeah.
For the pokers? For the flankers? If they did Elise, they would have basically been saying, okay, the other team definitely wins late game.
That's true.
Now at least it's a little bit more up for debate.
That's why I said Kindred. You can scale up in the jungle.
Get nearly one shot by Syndra, but then he just press R.
I mean, yeah, and Lee Sin kicks you, and it's sad there as well. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think there's like an obvious perfect answer. Regardless, Sejuani is in. It's going to make it a second play the split here for the team. TSM again fighting for sole control of 3rd place. Even Genesis the win, tie for 3rd with TSM and a bunch of other squads. We got a very interesting bot lane here with the Trist Taric coming through. Bjergsen on absolute comfort on the Syndra.
I'm pretty excited to see Trist Taric. I've seen an increase in Kalista Taric lanes, actually. It's seeing a little bit of play in LCK, and I'm seeing it start to explode in solo queue, so I think Kalista Taric will have a little bit of a comeback because that also makes the initiation for the Taric better. But the Trist Taric, as you mentioned, if they do find that window to go aggressive, they can actually do it in lane.
All right, I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I would like to see the aggression come through. I think there's definitely the chance to do so. TSM's new look roster. They had a disappointing couple of years, a team that almost only knew winning. I mean, they had an unbroken streak of LCS finals for like 6 years or something. And then it was catastrophe after catastrophe, kept shaking up the roster. This time around, though, I think they have the players that can make it work. The Dardoch experiment was a huge question for a lot of people. Will he keep being toxic? Will he break another team down? Will he get benched yet again? So far, Dardoch has been an absolutely outstanding early game player.
Yep.
And TSM look like they're on an upward trend.
I've been very impressed with Dardoch's early games, and also from the sounds of it, his attitude so far in this split. It looks like even though there have been time for potential struggles for TSM, it seems like they've been able to bounce back. They've gone through such a weird split already, Freak. They started 0-2. They then had back-to-back 2-0 weeks into another 0-2.
Yeah.
And now we're looking for another 2-0. In fact, both of these teams, EG and TSM, are looking to find 2-0 weeks. EG beating Liquid earlier this week, TSM beating 100 Thieves earlier this week, and it's a big step forward with how compacted the middle of the standings are.
Yeah.
It's very important to win this game.
Really, really big deals. A ton of teams at 4 wins right now, and right now 4 puts you just outside of playoffs, or at least in a big tie for teams going, between 6th and like 9th place. And yeah, we're only halfway in and no close to determining which teams are in or out aside from probably Cloud9 and CLG. Bjergsen is Syndra, 50 games, huge win record on it.
Better than Froggen's victor record that we flashed up in the last game.
I think Froggen was 2-12.
Yeah.
Bjergsen's 38-12.
Yeah, it was.
2-13 now.
I know this game is in the past, but I didn't get a chance to talk about it in that game, and there's not much happening in this early game. Froggen actually, aside from like before last year, where he had a decent year on Golden Guardians, had an incredibly rough go in the NALCS. There was a time where Froggen actually had the lowest LCS win rate of any active LCS player.
Yeah.
Like, it was a tough first couple of years for Froggen. But this year has obviously been more hopeful for Dignitas, as they are sitting at 5-5 and currently tied for 3rd, depending on the results of this game.
Yeah, in play position for Froggen and his team. TSM, of course, in the same spot right here, 5-4. Puts them temporarily, win percentage-wise, alone in 3rd, but that's not always a fair way to say things. Even Geniuses, again, wanted to go 50-50 as well in their record. Early push to bot lane goes TSM's way, very much to expectation based on champions. Much easier for Chris to shove a wave down.
I will say, as Dardoch tries to make an invade to spot people out.
The rocket jump stun. They went in right away. They forced Bang's flash. The fact that they didn't see this coming and they lost flash speaks volumes to Bang not paying attention.
Wow.
That is so obvious.
And also, neither of these lanes were really thinking about killing the other team based on summoner spells. Like, TSM could have taken heal 80 carry, ignite Biofrost, but instead they did heal Taric, teleport 80 carry. And on the other side, you have, a Guardian Braum with exhaust. So neither of those were like combat heavy lanes, but absolutely the level 2 power spike. That's not something where you want to be burning 2 summoner spells. So definitely a desync down bot, as you mentioned, from Bang and Zeyzal.
Well, it happens. It's flashed down. We'll see if it gets punished, or with Ezreal now having Arcane Shift, it doesn't matter at all, and he cools it back down anyway. Regardless, though, it's a first wave pushed in, first couple levels pushed in for TSM, and we'll see what happens when the wave bounces afterwards as they finish pushing in the cannons. You can see on the top side, Kuma's got a big wave on his own side, putting in a lot of damage with Broken Blade. He's sidestepped the true damage twice now. Here's round 2. And as we mentioned, he has Arcane Shift, so it's very easy to get away from this.
Yeah, and Dardoch has told everyone where Svenskeren has been this entire early game, which is why Kabe and Biofrost can so freely rocket jump near the turret like that. That would be an incredibly risky move if Dardoch hadn't invaded to spot out Svenskeren. But I will say that all of that vision Dardoch got on Svenskeren did not come with any counter jungling. So Sven has actually had what I'd call a successful first 3 minutes, 45 seconds against Lee, just because he's up 9 CS.
Right, yeah, really good stuff. He's up 2 camps already, and an extra ward on top as well as they trade blows. Broken Blade a little bit low, but has that Doran's shield. Got that very early on, and feeling reasonably comfortable as this is 1 CS, but he'll be fine. He's going to hold the wave up without too much issue. Zuke and Bjergsen trading back and forth. Zuke with more CS, but more farm for Bjergsen to grab as he says, hey Sven, please shove the wave in for me. Done by some time. Dardoch going to join in pretty soon. You can almost make this play. As the Q is burned. Don't do it.
He's got
he's going to try. Whoa, gets the shield and gets the flash out of Svenskeren. Nicely done by Dardoch.
Yeah, the fact that Biofrost had actually roamed up is what really enabled that play. To take the Q in with the Taric stun meant that the timing of Svenskeren's flash had to be incredibly precise. If he flashed too early, then the Taric stun and Lee Sin would have followed to kill for sure. He had to flash in that split second after Lee Sin landed and before the Taric stun detonated. Really, really close to first blood there.
Nice timing there. Good play. Turns out the Dardoch dive was nice, and that's a flash down on Svenskeren side. So EG missing 2 flashes so far in the early game. And mostly on some pretty solid outplays from TSM as the bot is pushed in, and Kabe not willing to freeze this. It's hard to freeze as Trist, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to hold the wave on his side, he could for about one wave. Decides, no. We're pretty much at BF Sword money, 1230 gold in inventory. Hard shove the wave. It's a non-cannon wave. The next wave coming in is one with the cannon, so it's the ideal shove. You shove the wave before cannon, you get 300 gold, you take the recall, BF Sword comes in.
And for as much as we've had some close calls in the early game, where Kabe and Biofrost force bangs Flash early, and Dardoch with the Biofrost roam nearly killed Svenskeren, EG has not broken at all. They have actually outfarmed TSM by a little bit in the early game. Mostly Svenskeren having that small gold lead. And also Kumo just like getting to be set up in the top lane against Ornn has that slight early advantage. So nothing really of consequence has happened early on in this game, just a couple of close calls.
You see as the cannon wave is pushed in without much issue, thanks to BF Sword Tristana making wave clear effortless. Bang does have the TP to answer the TP that Kabe had kind of pushed in. Not much of a surprise down there as they trade blows. Bang had to go for Sheen, though. Doesn't get to stack the tier defensively. Does need combat stats to battle the shoving. Really big damage. Broken Blade! The straight up solo kill!
What? I don't think I've seen
We need that replay.
an Ornn solo kill a set.
Oh my!
Like, I know that Ornn has some really good kill combos. Azael previewed some of them during the pre-show, but that is not something that you expect to see. Shout out to Broken Blade on that Ornn in this game.
Nicely done. Probably waited out the W cooldown from Kumo and said, okay, you can't put the shield back up. Let's go for round two. Kumo didn't flash, Kumo didn't ult.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
It takes two to tango. You got to do a big outplay on Ornn, but you also shouldn't be getting solo killed on set here.
Half. He's fine. Kumo's fine right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had a fully stacked Conquer, so I was feeling pretty confident, but like Broken Blade has just enough mana for this combo, gets a brittle, ignites, like procs the one, and then still has his W up, so it was just a CC chain. The Kumo actually needed the flash, but didn't realize it.
Yeah, he's at half HP, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'll lose, you know, down to 10%, and then I'll shield, it'll be fine. But you're right, the CC chain was there.
I mean, there's a reason Set gets first picked anytime he's up.
Right.
It's because you don't lose lane with the pick. Unless... Ornn is also very strong. So
Ornn is very strong. Ornn was the first pick in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to say this one was player difference. I'm going to say Broken Blade definitely outplayed Kumo.
Yep, Broken Blade outplayed Kumo. Kumo needed a flash R1 as it turned out, and didn't do so. Right, keep in mind R1 makes you brittle, and then hitting the knockup triggers brittle for like the 12% max health damage. And then you're so close, the auto triggers brittle again, and well, that's enough damage already. Well done, good job, Broken Blade. And that is TSM feeling pretty comfortable. This hurts Dardoch, by the way. He had such good first blood stats, and now he's missing another one.
There you go.
A significant drop in his early game rating. Yeah. How dare you, Broken Blade? Let me get in there. You should have played Karthus. That would have helped, you know?
Yeah, might have. I do want to see more Karthus, but I understand why teams need the kind of early game presence that sometimes Karthus doesn't provide.
Nice little punch there. Kumo trying to fight back, but plenty of farm still there for Broken Blade as he smiths up. I think he actually interrupted there because he already had those components. He wants Ruby Crystal. There we go. Sunfire Cape is boop.
On the way.
On the way.
Big wave stack, but it should be pretty simple for Broken Blade to clear this out.
Healthy boy. He's going to be in a pretty good spot overall as Dardoch says, well, if you can solo kill him, I'll take Scuttle Crab. Imagine how easy this fight is.
Yeah, well, Svenskeren's trying to turn the tides of this mid lane. If he lands the ult, it would be good to burst damage. Bjergsen's brought Cleanse, though, so it's hard to get kills.
Biofrost is here. Hello, that is 2v1. That is a Sejuani and a Boar. As Bristle walks back, and Svenskeren makes a 360 with the W.
Yeah, I mean, EG was a little bit earlier on this Rift Herald setup. They both roamed up their supports, but neither team willing to roam up their teleport on cooldown ADCs. So basically just staring each other down at Rift Herald and deciding that neither team is willing to start it, because that would probably mean the lost fight.
You can see Bjergsen as well, holding the wave on his side of the map.
Yeah. Right?
You saw not using any spells, so Mizuka comes in and goes out QE. That gets juked, but Mizuka has to play very far, has to have his control ward. Now a push towards the top side as the stun comes in. A charge back for Broken Blade. A lot of damage, but a fairly safe Ornn up there.
That might be the cadence that makes EG start this Rift because they got Broken Blade low enough. Broken Blade actually just swapped to Clarity, used it really quick so he could fill his mana pool, and that means he can then push Kumo out. That's actually really cute.
I didn't know you could take Clarity with Spellbook. Shows how much I use it. Yeah, that's definitely Clarity. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I saw it really quick up on the top left of the UI, because he was basically pushed out of lane because he had low mana and about 60% health. Then he just popped Clarity and EG couldn't take the Rift. Now they're swapping down to try this Infernal Drake. Neither top laner can TP, so
all right,
might see a fight here.
Level 9 for both of them as everyone starts coming down. TSM not quite able to knock them, but that's a stun. That's damage. That is a Terra Gold that comes down just after damage comes across.
Okay.
Dardak has to be respectful because Jizuke, W, he can RQE, but people will think that skill shot. So Dardak is safe. Jizuke has to flash because couldn't jump again. Finds a root, but only partially as Broken Blade walks it back.
Well, Broken Blade just got his teleport, so he came down immediately. So Kumo's actually getting free time. This is a lot of wasted map pressure by TSM. The fact that they couldn't get the Infernal despite burning the TP, this sets them actually really far behind if EG can capitalize, having that full TP advantage after Broken Blade gets nothing done with that TP.
3 plates. Solid wave gets all the waves. Yeah, that's 3 plates of gold directly earned by Kumo. So that's 360 right there. And 2 full waves of minions not earned by Broken Blade. That is a 500 gold swing for a TP that did not turn into anything. That is very large. It literally makes up the first blood difference. You can see a gold lead overall. I mean, that's also kind of the other 20 CS that Kumo's gotten over him, or the other 13 CS has gotten over him, but such pretty good champion, Jat.
I mean, imagine if he didn't get solo kill. He'd be crushing.
That's true.
Broken Blade tried to make the team play there, but a little bit of desync, so still waiting for this game to break open.
Well, at one point, TSM we know has had some good early games. So that one mistake has cost them their lead 12 minutes in, but that's okay. I think they still have plenty of tools to work back from. Honestly, any lane where Tristana is free farming is a lane where I'm happy as the Tristana. Got to burn a flash. As it turns out, it didn't mean anything, right? Bang burn the summoner. Nothing came of it. So it's I would say it's still a mistake, but it's an unpunished mistake.
Sure.
Where I don't think there was ever like a fight that he could have had that they darned. If only he had flash, he could have solo killed him. So we come out to the mid game where tier is now stacking, and we look back at the bottom lane. We haven't had much of a Rift Herald swap either so far in this game.
Well, the supports did swap up.
Right.
But then they just kind of scared each other down. Now, without the TP advantage, TSM again swaps up for Rift. If they get this and use it really quickly, they can still get the plates, as EG isn't really positioned to shove really hard in the bot lane. So it's likely going to be a Rift for first Drake move. And it's about how quickly can Dardoch make something happen with this Rift play top. They're actually teleporting and going for a lot. They want the turret.
Going for a heavy play. Nice ult to bring Kumo to safety. Broken Blade now in turret range. Flash for the W, but he can't get the damage. That's an easy chase down. That is first turret going to drop in the top side, and a second kill for TSM.
Yep, they're going to do the... There's the Herald, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say they're going to do the 2.5 plates and then let the Herald charge, and Dardoch had already been channeling it, so there's first turret. And Bjergsen has pushed mid lane, so that's a big swing in the favor of TSM.
1,300 gold lead now, TSM. 100 for killing the Herald, a solid about 900 if you count all the plates as well for the entire turret stuff. And bam, half HP and below on that one as well. So TSM feeling really good about how that play just shaked up.
Yeah, it's going to be 7 plates to 4. In terms of TSM versus EG, as the clock is about to ping 14 minutes. But yeah, here you can see the team is taking Drake. I think that's some inexperience by Kumo there. There's no need to check the tri-brush there, because the only thing that you're going to find is bad news. So why even look? It is the bad news, and then he's not in turret for it, so it makes the kill easier onto him.
Yeah. They even get the global announce that people are in the top river because you get the global announce of Herald dying. So did not need to flash forward. Painful stuff. And we'll see now as we crest into the mid-game. Plates have dropped, and we look at what's next on the field. Yes, EG got that Drake. They cleaned that one up. That is worth a little bit of stats right here. Infernal does mean attack damage and ability power, which will help 3 of them. Wait to see the next big play then, as there's no neutral objectives left to take for several minutes.
I mean, we saw the summoner choices in the bottom lane. Those two generally aren't trying to kill each other.
Nope.
Bjergsen and Jizuke looked like it could have been a more volatile matchup, but the junglers just haven't skirmished that much there. So it's ended up being pretty even. you don't really expect the Ornn versus Set to create much action, but that's actually where all of the action has been.
Yeah.
This is still one of those games, really with like the Tarek Braum and Svenskeren being almost all of EG's initiation on the Sedge, even though it's against like a Syndra Tarek, so going in is really difficult. What I'm trying to get at is it's going to be a little slow.
Yeah.
Like the drafts have been set up to be fairly slow, and I think TSM is just waiting for ornaments. They're waiting to hit level 14, 15 Broken Blade. You can see the Infinity Edge is already up. I'm curious to see if Bjergsen rushes Death Cap second just because he can, or if he'll take the less efficient Luden's upgrade on the Syndra. But that's what I think this game is waiting for.
Well, last time we cast together, chat, we talked about itemization for a while in the mid game, and I got tweets saying thank you, so I'm going to do it again. I actually very much dislike Zeal upgrades on Tristana.
This might be a dive bomb.
We're going to wait then, because Jizuke gets nearly solo killed by Kabe, and in fact, with a little bit of shielding from Tarek, does indeed take that fight over. So it's Scaring over the wall, wants to find Dardoch, but he ward stops to safety and is completely safe. TSM 3-0 in kills, and Kabe still pushing the bot lane.
There's the tempo push. If they're able to get side lane kills on Jizuke the instant he swaps out of mid, that can accelerate things. It's hard to push in without minions, though. Really want to finish that turret.
Yeah, a couple of shots in. Pretty good shielding. Lee Sin and Tarek can combine for some of that, and that's going to feel really comfortable now. TSM looking really good here.
I'm actually kind of curious to see how Kabe did that. It's probably because Jizuke felt trapped with the flank coming in behind him. As TSM finishes this turret as well to extend their lead.
Looking good.
Then we'll get to Tristana's Zeal items after this replay.
Yeah, well, she's going to buy a Zeal here. That'll be sad.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it. Watching this here, he's just trying to clear the wave, but then Bjergsen's seen on the control ward as Jizuke has gone forward. So at that point, it's real bad.
Yeah, and that's an unofficial solo kill, but it really is a solo kill.
Yeah.
He got a shield after the fact so that he could get assist money.
Yeah, worth it. Another isolated death for Jizuke, but there's the Zeal. Why don't you like Zeal on Trist?
So Tristana basically doesn't have any meaningful attack speed hooks in her kit. You will always get a 4-hit E off because you have Rapid Fire. Okay, so that's one, like compared to like a Varus
and
or a
Rapid
Kaisa.
Fire, which you max second, is a massive attack speed buff. What does it get up to, 100%?
I think it goes like 110%.
Okay.
So essentially, Tristana has the most bonus attack speed natively of any conventional marksman not named Senna. That's an asterisk. We'll talk about that way later on when Senna's in a game. But Tristana has the least need for attack speed of any AD carry, I think literally in League of Legends.
Yeah, so you want Essence Reaver so you can get your Q up more and also have more damage.
Yeah, and even something like Storm Razor or whatever, but essentially your value for attack speed, your DPS increase per attack speed is very low compared to other champions. When you have no bonus attack speed, 5% AS and 5% more damage. That's a kick, that's damage, Zazel's fine.
I also like whenever you talk about AD carry itemization, we see fights.
We do.
So we should keep doing this.
Okay, well, they're sieging up the mid lane. Meanwhile, if you have 100% bonus attack speed, 5% AS is really 2.5% more damage. Whereas the value of like plus AD didn't change.
Okay.
So you're getting comparatively less and less percent damage out of attack speed the more you already have. Thus, on Trist, don't bother buying attack speed.
Okay, and TSM's pushing the mid lane with Cloud up. EG's not really getting anything here. They're not getting river control or mid control. Normally, if a team pushes mid, you're at least setting up vision around Drake, but TSM is actually controlling everything.
Oh, a little bit of poke. TSM feeling very comfortable getting kind of everything they want. They have yet to clear up a Drake themselves.
Good control wards there by EG, though. If they're looking to find a fight, you got to lead with ult.
Oh, it lands for the slow. It's still damage. Is there a play to be had? Terrible comes down, and TSM going to feel fairly safe, but they have to disengage off the ultimate. EG still got their pokes down. They're feeling reasonably comfortable. Jizuke spots them. Redemption heal's nice, though.
And the Ornn engage is also going to be nullified by the Braum. You got to see an example of that now. Basically, Zazel can never use his E until Braum presses R, and you just hold your E backwards on Braum, and it stops the Ornn Horn from coming through. Really interesting right here, actually, how I think TSM could have still tried to fight here. It would have been a low percentage play, but instead the Drake goes over to EG. This has been early Drake control, I think, has been TSM's Achilles heel this split.
Right.
Where they're winning a lot of early games, but they haven't been able to get to Dragon Soul. In fact, other teams have gotten Dragon Soul on them. And that play right there is one where with that lead, you kind of have to just get the Drake. But they're unable to do so with enough poke coming in from EG's kind of fake engage, that now EG is 2 Drakes away from a win condition.
Right. Yeah, and Mount Soul is very good. Its raw stats is one of the ones that I think can directly combat a gold lead. It generally maths out to about 800 gold of health per champion. That makes up the gold lead in a very literal sense, as long as you, again, care about raw HP, but every champion kind of does. Syndra on the enemy team, you definitely care about a raw HP shield. So that is something really worth considering, is you can undo a lot of the gold that Pearson has, and we'll see if that comes in later on as that ticks forward. We do have a lot of tanks per team, so even the Mountain Drakes themselves will be valuable as time moves on. TSM, to your point earlier, I think, yeah, tends to prioritize the early objectives that are worth raw gold, right? Heralds just turn into gold, right? Turret plates literally just turn into gold. That's the ones they've been focusing on.
It is hard to convert second Herald, though, once you've already taken down outer tiers.
Yeah.
Like, the commitment to get in for a second tier turret is high, and also the reward is not massive unless they get in the mid. Like, getting the second tier turret in either the top or the bot lane is much less valuable if the mid's not down, because it's too dangerous to push through that far. So they're going to look for a pick, likely, and if they can get one, then they drop the Herald mid. But for now, they're just bouncing waves.
So right now you can see EG's vision overall, and it's almost nothing past the river. Won by the slain red buff camp. Doesn't really spot anything, so has to be a little respectful. You can see Bang farming from max range with Qs, then walks back afterwards. It's okay. That's a melee minion for me. And you shove in the wave, okay, I go for the next one. But it means TSM gets to take the top river. They get to control around the Baron pit. That's been spawned for the last minute and a half. There's a control ward right at the foots. The feet of Baron. And here comes Bifrost to the front yet again. Slowed down, but safe. Bang ult, tags 2.
Oh, there's some Ornn fighting going down bottom. I just saw the ult go off.
Kumo's knocked up yet again, then slammed back down with a pillar, and suddenly Kave is there. A dunk towards the back line. Kumo has to run. The flash follow means a knockup. They find the slow as well. And next spell basically kills. Kabe's almost going to be with Rocket up in a second. There's the auto, there's the kill. Kabe is on a killing spree, feeling comfortable now for himself.
Definitely a rough game for Kumo. TSM continually finding him in the side lanes. What can they do with it, though? Because, yes, Kabe spent his teleport there, and it's a kill for a turret. Now would be the window to drop Rift mid, and TSM go for the second tier. That's why they're grouped.
Dardak gonna chase back the Ezreal slightly. Yeah, this would be the time to summon. Goes for it now, and Wardhouse back to his squad. This turret is going to fall, but the question is there a battle afterwards? It's a 4v5 until Kumo respawns. Mid tier 2 definitely drops, and TSM able to walk away and kill Wolfgang.
I mean, they saw Jizuke in the side lane, so TSM knows that they can't actually get outnumbered in that play. Jizuke's still pushing the side lane, actually, so all outers are now dead. And there's no way he's going to be able to get that turret.
Yeah. Well,
there was an interview earlier in the week where Zeyzal talked about some of the communication issues that EG have been having, and this is actually looking like it's playing out in-game, where like the Svenskar and Kumo Zeyzal team have a plan, Jizuke has his own plan, which is off-script, and then Bang also has his own plan, which is generally a little bit different as well. So we saw Bang ult the river during the first early engage, doesn't really create much pressure. We see Svenskaren wanting to flank a team fight from the Raptor pit, but Jizuke's not recalled at all, so they end up giving 2 turrets, and now they're down about 5,000 gold in the game.
Looking more and more like a TSM win, even though they haven't grabbed any drakes for themselves. They know that Sedge is there. Nice sweeper spots that went out, but Dardak burned his Q for some vision plays. Looking to see if anyone was in that side brush. No one was, but wanted to be safe and not sorry. Wasn't going to be a kill anyway, so I don't blame him for that in the slightest, as mid is cleared it again. Kabe going towards the Mercurial Scimitar. Has the finished Molten Edge, thanks to Broken Blade. And a second upgrade for a teammate is available as well. Only one available is Redemption, or Bjergsen's Luden's Echo. And he finishes Void Staff second item, has that right away. And as long as it's sitting front line, it's fine. But if you're going for Ezreal, it's a waste of gold.
It's going to be so hard for EG to kill Broken Blade in a fight. The Iceborne Gauntlet Ezreal and the 1.5 item LeBlanc is pretty much all of their damage. So they're in a really rough spot.
It's going to be a tough one, and there we go. TSM uncontested, just completely take over this side of the map. Actually goes for the Black Cleaver upgrade onto Dardak first. I wonder if Bjergsen is going to go for like throw item death cap, and he's like, yeah, don't worry, get me at level 17 or something.
It's definitely slightly more efficient at this case. Fun fact, actually.
Yeah.
A fan told me this in the LCS studio after one of the games. If you use your redemption, then upgrade the redemption, the active CD comes back.
Right.
Yeah, so because it's a new item, and it has its own item cooldown, basically. So you're very rarely going to see that come in, but if an Oran's going to walk up to upgrade a redemption, just use it somewhere, because it's coming back for free.
Yeah, same thing happened with like QSS going into Scimitar. I think it also happens with like Hex Drinker up to Maw as well. Every once in a while you're like, oh great, I have it again. That's nice, it's gonna help me survive something. Even though the items themselves normally share a cooldown. Well, over the wall they go. TSM looking to take over Baron as it's the next major objective. 26 minutes in. Very large gold lead fight.
Jizuke play.
Oh, wow. Jizuke made it not even close.
That's the other side of the Jizuke, I don't
Paradox?
know, carousel, like coin. It's something. It goes round and round, and sometimes you get the big play.
It's back to tails.
But it's a trade.
Jizuke is like definitely dead here. That's a slow, that is a knockup.
Try something.
He's gonna go right into Kabe's face.
Yeah, but, you know, they got a turret off it too, probably.
Okay.
They got multiples. They got
You know
the
what?
set turret and the Braum turret.
You know, I take that. Jizuke is a genius who is looking 7 steps ahead of TSM.
How do they know what he's going to do?
Yeah.
You know,
My
the rest of
teammates don't even know what I'm gonna do.
There we go.
Because he knows. There's a Swain quote. He says something like, they're 3 steps away from knowing I'm 5 steps ahead.
Okay.
It's a long way of saying I'm 8 steps ahead of them. That's Jizuke right there.
It was. Also, I hadn't noticed that the Void Staff came in for Jizuke, which is one of the things that enabled him to have that burst onto Bjergsen. He must have been sitting on a ton of gold. I could have sworn he didn't have the Void.
Yeah, 74 MR on Bjergsen at this point, 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
First game through.
Jizuke had farmed up about basically enough to full buy a Void. He was out on the map for that long. Then goes back, makes his way to that brush before one-shotting Bjergsen.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see the next spikes come through. Going for a CDR. We see a lot of Banshees builds. More and more on mid laners here. That Codex could be the same thing here for Bjergsen, going for some more matches, which would definitely make Void worth it, obviously. You add like 65 MR for a Banshees. Stonies can also work, right? So a good way to immune a lot of damage. You can see it telegraph forward. Svenskar, and oh, that's enemy champions. Jump over the wall instead. Despite losing that one kill, lose a couple turrets, TSM still feel comfortable. 3,500 gold lead. A little bit of poke from Bang, and yeah, actually,
I mean,
nice shot.
Look at the sides. EG is playing 1-3-1 pretty well, and it's difficult for TSM to start a fight. Like, the Ornn ultimate gets immediately blocked by the Braum, and then there's an Ezreal sitting there. So, like, the fact that TSM hasn't responded to these side lanes, they don't have a plan. They either need to be pressuring Baron or matching these waves, because I don't know if they can actually dive this mid turret. They're pushing up. They're going to try to just take this turret.
Big stun, but no one's there to answer on a comment. The ult does nothing. They kick back beautifully on the 2, and there's Kumo flashing in for a pull, but it gets nothing. Jardock ward hops away. The turret is at 12%. Top tier 2 will die to minions. Jizuke actually stops the recall, says, let's knock that turret down. End of the day, nothing gained for TSM. Top tier 2 is dead.
This is really good for EG. It is dangerous to send 2 people into side lanes, but they can block TSM's engage for the most part.
This time Jizuke is recalling. Broken Blade just charges forward to make them disengage and cracks the inhibitor. Now the play is towards Sejuani. Svenskar going to kite backwards. Bjergsen has burned the ult.
Oh, they didn't block the
Ornn goes in for a little bit of damage, and it's his hit towards Kumo as well, who stays alive on top. Jizuke wants it, but Redemption is going to undo that damage. TSM feeling comfortable, ready to crack the mid inhibitor, and they will indeed do so.
So all things considered, it was dicey for a little while. Breaking the mid inhibitor, it can be deemed a success for TSM. Grouping so strongly in the mid lane, even though EG did accumulate some side lane gold, ultimately breaks it without needing to get a Baron buff, and now they can try and turn their attention to the side lanes in terms of moving this game forward. But the gold did creep up very close. We're in for a game.
Definitely are. Look at this one. Now, TSM. Broken inhibitor. That's one of the safest inhibs to lose. It's very easy to get back to mid and clear that out. That's not much of a problem overall, but it's still passive lane pressure that EG does have to spend time dealing with. TSM, second Mountain Drake's up in 5 seconds, but they have sent Bjergsen up to the top lane. So Mountain is very achievable here. Bjergsen's not seen Envision just yet, but he's about to be. And EG get a very easy, very clean third Drake.
how does this keep happening for TSM? The deprioritization of the win condition. Now EG, from a losing spot, is one Drake away from getting Mountain Soul. TSM is taking a trade, and they have to get a conversion now. So they've put the control out on Baron. They've taken Scuttle Crab. They kind of need to get a fight or a lot of Baron pressure out of this. Otherwise, EG's one step closer to winning.
Whoop, that's the cue that's landing. You know, chat, I love reading chat during the games, and they're fighting a little bit. But the one Drake that Biofrost pinged is the one that TSM got.
Okay.
6 minutes ago, he pinged Mountain Drake spawning in 1 minute, and they grabbed that Drake. No one on TSM pinged the Drake timer this time around, whereas Svenskeren actually, like, on clockwork is like, hey, it's 1 minute away, I'm pinging this, make sure you guys reset. You can communicate without pings, of course. We're all aware they're on voice chat together, but TSM aren't even pinging timers.
You definitely have to wonder what's happening. Jizuke snuck behind. If he can get the one shot on Bjergsen. Ooh,
gets the knock up. This could be damage on a bang, but he's gonna go pretty safe. Nice shot by Zazel. The ult comes in as well. Svenskeren finds Bjergsen and forces the cleanse away. Big damage coming across, but again, the redemption's gonna look good. They're healthy. Jizuke now on a ward, gonna knock this one down. Has to respect Bjergsen. And doesn't want to burn the ult to knock down a single ward,
So multiple ults burned on the side of EG. Set, Sej, Ezreal, and Braum. Only the Ornn ult for TSM, so they are 5 strong here, but Svenskeren can steal.
Jizuke burns W, might go in for R in a second, kites back, 2.5k. This is the moment! And it's picked up by Dardoch. A good spike comes in, kick back, looking at the re-engage. Already a 1-for-0, Kumo is alive, puts the W, but no one will die! TSM claim a 3-for-0.
This could be the game. They have the inhibitor broken in the mid lane, and top and bot waves are actually already pushing with minions, so they're going for at least 3 inhibs. It took a while, Freak, but it looks like TSM might have just broken it open.
This is going to look really nice for them as they already pushed down. And look at that one. That is a very dead inhibitor. Looking now at the first of the turrets. 15 seconds on most of the important respawns. Jizuke chunked out with just an auto attack. This turret's at half HP. That turret's gone. Second turret's going down as well. How do you stop the bang? Can't possibly have the damage. Push down to the Nexus. Quick CC comes in. Here's the respawns. They're going to try their harder, but the Nexus will fall, and TSM gets sole control of 3rd place.
Their 3rd 2-0 week in 5 weeks lands TSM at 6-4. And as you mentioned, control of 3rd place. And Freak,